when we think about life insurance, what are we automatically thinking about? But why should we be thinking about life insurance in death? Because of that financial responsibility that comes with that. That may be there and present, that someone has to look after and care for the bills, or make sure that something is covered, because if something happens to me, your life is not only impacted from an emotional standpoint, but from a financial standpoint. And a lot of times those are gonna go hand in hand. I had a client in private practice who, she could sit with me. Her experience was in a grief group, and in this grief group, she was talking to others who had lost loved ones, and she was there because she had lost her father. And in this grief group, as she was expressing that she was, 6 months into losing her father, everyone patronized her. Just wait, oh, this is just the beginning, just wait. And so she, with our work together, she became curious. Why are you telling me that I should just wait? What am I waiting on? And the people in the room, well-meaning, were like, but what about the finances? 6 months from now, you're gonna be hit with all these bills, you're gonna be hit with all these other things. But that was not her experience, because her dad had life insurance, so all she could do was sit and grieve. That was already cared for. That was already taken care of. She could just sit and be with her emotions and be with me and be present in the room. So sometimes people cannot grieve properly if we're not covered in death.
I think it's a touch screen.
Come on, there we go. Okay. We're gonna be working with fire in a minute, y'all. Divorce can be a stressful experience financially. This looks like financial changes after divorce, alimony, child support that must be paid, and divorce. There is a link that we found in a lot of the articles and the research that is linked to anxiety and depression, especially upon the person that has to maintain or hold the financial burden. Most of the time in our society, I hate to say it, fellas, but it's women who have to hold the financial burden after a divorce for childcare, for bills, for separating the finances. And a lot of the time, while we say it's linked to the anxiety and depression, is because there's a certain quality of life or perceived quality of life that declines, because we no longer have access to that finances that once were with having a 2-income household. And that's just a little bit about that. We can go in depth with that. The other part is shame. When we think about financial trauma, this is attached when a person feels like they have not made wise financial decisions. There are highlighted areas of financial intersection and shame. There's a discomfort talking about money, a lack of information or a lack of confidence. There are the financial sins. Anybody can think about what some financial sins that are out there?